Hey everybody, welcome to the Onsite Renovation Group for December 18th, 2018. We're here at Rock Shukoor's $1.5 million Airbnb. Don DeRosa couldn't join us today, but we're out here checking this property out. It's the first time we've been to an Airbnb, so you guys are in for a real treat. Hang tight. We meet on the first and third Tuesday of every month at real job sites. We are not meeting on January the 1st because it's a major holiday, but we will be meeting again on January the 15th. Also, the Onsite Renovation Group is sponsored by Baker Collins. If you need a hard money loan, they'll be more than happy to help you out. Also, I want to dedicate this meeting to a good friend we recently lost, Art Link. He was a good man and a good friend. This is him there in the middle. He's having a memorial service tonight. Information is up on the Atlanta REIA.com website as well as our Facebook page. He was a fixture here at these meetings. If you watch any of our replays, you'll always see him right in the shot. He was very involved with our group and he's going to be dearly missed. He was a good friend. If you want to watch our replays, check out facebook.com/onsiteatlanta. facebook.com/onsiteatlanta. Also check out us on youtube.com/Atlanta REIA. You can scroll down and see these replays, as well as our website onsite.atlantareia.com. So we're going to get started. Again, we're here at Rock Shukoor's $1.5 million Airbnb in Buckhead. Let's get started. All right, Rock, you ready to go?
Yeah.
Let's just go find a good place to stand. Turn on your mic. All right, welcome everybody.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How you guys doing? You guys want to say hi to the camera? Hey everybody. We got a full house here today.
Yes.
Well, welcome everybody. I'm a little surprised by the turnout, but not too surprised. You know, parking wasn't a challenge getting in and out of here, so if you guys are parked in the driveway, you might be here for a little while because I've got you all blocked in, and there's nothing I can do about it. But I appreciate you guys all coming out. This is the Onsite Renovation Group, where we go out each month and look at different jobs, whether they be rehabs, whether they be buy and holds, whether they be an Airbnb like this, whether they be new construction like the past couple we've seen. We just like to take you guys out and go to real projects that real investors are doing to kind of motivate you, inspire you, see what other investors are doing, and help, like I said, help inspire and motivate you to maybe do the same, to find your passion, to find your niche within the wide field of real estate investing. There's so many things we can do. So if you've got any projects you'd like us to come see, we'd love to come check out some of your deals. We go see brand new investor deals. We go see intermediate investor deals. We go see seasoned investors deals. Now, today we're here with Rock Shukoor, who is a seasoned investor. But the house you're standing in, I believe, is one of Rock's first Airbnbs. Mm-hmm. So he's a seasoned investor on one hand, but again, he's new at this. And it looks like he did pretty good on his first project, right? Yeah. So I'm going to start off by asking him lots of good questions. We'll have you ask him lots of good questions. Maria, try not to crinkle the potato chips too much there, because you're right in front of the the microphone. So Rock, a lot of these folks are new and may not know who you are.
Okay.
Can you kind of take a minute to introduce yourself and tell them how you got started in the business? I like to joke around and say you went from flipping pizzas to flipping houses, which is true.
Right.
So tell them a little bit about your background real quick so they can get to know you a little bit better.
I believe in working hard, and I believe in just doing whatever I can, the best I can at whatever job I do. So at the beginning, when I was in college, I was working 4 jobs. College was a full-time one, of course, and then I was working at McDonald's. I had my own printing shop, and I also was doing flea market. So some of these things that you see in this house, I bought from flea market because I know how to bargain hunt and shop in those areas and get them at good prices too. So when it comes to a business like this, you got to buy it at the right price in order to make money out of it.
That's
Otherwise,
right.
You can spend hundreds of thousands of dollars and still don't make anything out of it. So as far as, I worked for Pizza Hut before I started real estate. I was manager for my store, and I had 11 other stores training people, but they weren't paying me but $35,000 a year. On my first rehab job I was still working at Pizza Hut. I made $36,000. So when I joke about real estate is like good crack, once you get your first check and it's a good check, it's like you're gonna hook on it for the rest of your life. That was my crack, and that's why I stick with it till now. And that was 17 years ago. So I've been doing real estate since 2000, full time since 2001. As far as real estate, I have done many deals, different kind. I believe in doing business with no money out of your pocket and no credit. So that's how I started this business. And also, you see this property, $1.5 million project, and I can tell you I haven't used my credit or I haven't used any of my money. That doesn't mean money has not been used, but that's how I do this business.
And we'll definitely have you explain that in a little bit.
In a little bit, okay.
Yep. So what are your specialties when it comes to real estate investing? What are you known for?
I wholesale a lot of properties, and I also rehab properties. And part of my experience with this house staging came from there, because I stage every house that I rehab before I sell it. So I used those two combined, started doing real estate, and Airbnb basically was an exit strategy, a cash flow strategy. Yep. Rather than owner financing or renting it, I looked at Airbnb, which makes much more sense. On a property like this, when it's done right, you're making $10,000 to $15,000 a month from it. So compare this to just a rental house. Yeah. The kind of cash flow. That 10 to 15 that I say is net profit, not just
before we get into the details of this project, a lot of people know you as a wholesaler, but you said you fix and flip too. About what's your ratio fix and flip versus wholesale?
I don't do a lot of fix and flip. So if I have 3 projects going on at one time, that's more than enough for me.
That's pretty good.
And I also have coaching students that I work with. So right. I don't want to kind of focus, because fix and flip is a full-time business for a lot of people. So I don't want to do more than 1 or 2, 3 is max at one time. I do wholesaling. I also buy and hold properties. I have rental. I don't rent them, but owner finance properties as well. So,
a lot of people don't know that about you. How many of those do you do on a regular basis?
It depends. Depends on what's available for that month. So I market a lot, fix and flip most of it, or actually wholesale most of it. So my ratio is, if I do 5 deals a month, I want to buy and hold one of them, fix and flip one of them, and then wholesale that at 3.
Now, have you been doing that for a while, or is that newer? Did you just start doing that more recently?
I've used that formula for the last 15 years at least. That's since I bought.
I think a lot of people
doing real estate.
I think a lot of people don't know that about you.
No. There's a lot of things they don't know about me.
Yeah. Well, we're going to learn some today.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this project. You were just talking about how you do buy and hold.
Yeah.
What made you decide to do your first Airbnb? And what made you decide to do your first Airbnb in this price range?
Okay. Actually, this was a friend of mine who wanted to do business with me. We had other businesses in the past, and he moved out of state. He moved to Texas, and he would call me. He's like, "Have you looked at Airbnb and how to do Airbnb?" I said, "No, I've heard a lot about it, but I haven't done it." He said, "Look, I want you to look into this." So he actually told me about a course that is online. It's an 8-week course. Asked me to go over that. Let's go together, go over it, because he's not a real estate expert. He's just a business person. So I purchased that course based on his recommendation, based on the numbers that I saw. When I was going through the end of the course, the coach was interviewing quite a few people, and one of those was Airbnb luxury expert. So when I listened to that interview, it made all the sense to me. And especially when I did my research looking at properties, the 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom is at the bottom of the barrel, and there are tons of them out there. So the competition is really huge, especially even in Atlanta. There's about 7,200 Airbnb properties in Atlanta, just Metro Atlanta. And out of that, less than a handful of them was properties this size. So when I looked at it and I looked at the numbers, and especially when I listened to that interview, it made all the sense to me. On top of it, everyone who wants to start, they want to start small. They want to start at the bottom. That space is very crowded.
Well, it's probably worth taking a minute to kind of back up and put this in the context of what he just said. Is now a good time to buy and hold properties, buy houses for cash and buy them and hold them? Yes or no? What's your opinion?
Yes.
Is this a good time to buy properties and hold them? I heard a few yeses. So I heard you, if you buy it right, and that's the key. But is it a good time to buy for cash and hold it right now? Many people would say no because you're paying top dollar because we're at the top of the market, right? Seller's market, especially in the lower price ranges, you're paying too much. If you go up in price range, these houses are sitting on the market for a while. It's softer, but still you're paying a lot for them cash, not to get that cash back for years, just to get a little bit back per month. So it's not the greatest time to buy when things are at the top of the market to buy and hold. However, somebody said it maybe it depends how you buy it. How do you buy a house in today's economy and buy it and hold it? I'm going to let you say the answer. I know the answer.
In today's market, buy and hold, the only way I would buy and hold it is subject to or owner financing with great terms. So if I'm buying it to hold it, I'm not going to pay cash for it because of the market prices. And if you're buying subject to, most likely, if they got a mortgage a few years ago, then you're buying it at the prices that were 3, 4, 5 years ago, which was much different than what it is right now.
So basically what he's saying is you don't want to buy with cash. You want to buy creatively. Take over somebody's mortgage payments, subject to. Wraparound mortgage, same basic thing. Owner financing and or sandwich leasing, where you lease it, then release it, right? Mm-hmm. And get the same benefits. It's control without ownership in some cases. It's control with ownership in other cases. But you're able to pay more money for the property, because you're getting really good terms. So the purchase price is not that relevant as long as your down payment is low and your monthly payments are reasonable, enough for you to make a cash flow. So we can pay more, but because it's not our money. We're not getting credit. We're not using credit. We're using the financing that's already in place and or owner financing of some sort. So I have a feeling that has something to do with today's project, which we'll get into. So if you're going to be buying and holding Airbnbs, a lot of people get into the lower, more economical ones, as he just mentioned, with cash or with some sort of creative terms. He said, why start on the bottom? Why not start from the top? My name's Rock Shukoor. Right?
Well, I don't mind taking risk, but I always talk about take calculated risk. So when I looked at this property and this project, when I run the numbers, even 40% occupancy or 35% occupancy will cover all my expenses. And with a house like this, it's very easy to have 35-40% occupancy. So if I'm and by the way, for those of you who haven't done Airbnb, if you run a project like this large, or it's one bedroom, going in and out, reservation, all the work is exactly the same. So one is paying $50 to $100 per night, might pay $4,000 to $5,000 per night because of the number of people coming in this group. So the cleaning was basically you're calling a cleaner to come and do the work, same way. So all the work that needs to be done is exact same way, same amount of time is going to be spent on a small project, a one bedroom, one bath project compared to a project like this. It's just the numbers are much bigger and higher, and it scares people away. But
it's built into the cost of doing the business, right?
Right.
So you told us how you got into Airbnb. Mm-hmm. Something motivated you to go from the top rather than the bottom. So just a little bit about Airbnb real quick before we get into the particular details of this deal. What is the average occupancy for Airbnbs here in the Atlanta metro area in the different price ranges? I've heard numbers. Are you familiar with some of the stats?
I am. I did my research before I get into it, and a few things that I learned. Properties that are 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedrooms, the occupancy level is much lower because there's so much competition.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
The occupancy, now if it's close to the airport, the occupancy is a little higher and you're getting better return because where it is. But it also has to do with how many different channels you're marketing. Marketing has to do with everything with keeping the property occupied, as you guys know, right?
Right.
Doesn't matter. Buying or selling, everything has to do with marketing. And keeping this property occupied also has to do with marketing. So I was actually talking to a coach, not going to name any names, but there was an Airbnb coach, and I was new to the business. So I was only first 30 days in the business, and we were talking, and it was a couple, he or she, they came to the property and they wanted to hire me well, I wanted to hire them as my coach. And when we run the numbers, they're like, we're going to help you keep it at 70, 75% occupancy. I say, okay, great. And then we're going to keep you this and that and numbers. By the time we run the numbers, like I've been in this business for only 1 month, I'm doing much better than you are already. And if I hire you as my coach, that means I'm going backwards.
Yep.
So like, okay, no deal.
One deal.
So, but again, all that said, you and I have run marketing group and events, and my experience, the three things that helped me a lot with this project, of course, buying and selling houses creatively was something I have always done, which I already, when I went through the courses, I already knew how to do that part of it, so I didn't have to learn that new. As far as staging and furnishing it, when I rehabbed all my houses, I furnished it anyway, so that part of it I didn't have to get any help. And as far as marketing, I just learned what kind of marketing I have to do, because I'm a big believer of marketing, and you know that because we run marketing groups together. So to me, if you're doing your marketing, doesn't matter what group you're in, where you're at. If you're doing the right marketing, you will always have your properties occupied.
So I was asking about having the property always occupied.
Yeah.
What is the average occupancy? I've heard as high as 85%. Do you know what it is currently?
If you're doing everything the right way, you will get 85 to 90% occupancy, and no one gets any more than that. On average, on regular.
I was going to say, if that's average.
No, that's not average.
Well, that's what I'm asking.
That's
what's average?
Average.
Because 85 sounds good. That sounds above average.
Awesome. Everyone should be in this business if it gets to 85% average, but it's not. Around 60%, 65% is average for most people. And people who are really, like there are at least 7, 8 big channels. You guys know what channels mean?
Tell them.
Like Airbnb, Booking.com, TripAdvisor, all of those are channels.
VBRO, Vacation Rental by Owner.
Yeah,
VRBO.
HomeAway, VRBO, those are channels. Each one of those big boys have a lot of small companies that came on board and they purchased them. So now they have a lot of those smaller channels working with them. Mm-hmm. So once you learn which ones are the big channels and you have an account with them, they market your property to all those little ones. Like we had a group meeting here for Booking.com. And they came, their representative came over here and the manager came over here and she was like, wow, we don't have a property like this, or many of them in Atlanta that's part of Booking.com. So she actually invited me to go to her office yesterday. She looked at all my information for free to make sure I do the right thing, and she has done the right thing for me. So, and you know, just kind of for you guys, that for some of you who want to play small, no one will care where you are at if you're at that level. She came here one night just looking at the property with a group of others, like we were about 30-some people. I joined an Airbnb group anyway, so just I can be a part of it. And we had our meeting here last week. And this Monday, the only reason I went to her office, because she doesn't invite anyone to her office, because it's a $1 million home and she wanted to kind of make sure that other people are seeing it in her. So even though she's helping me, I'm helping her also, right? Booking.com will look at what kind of houses we have.
Right.
So, but if you have a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, she won't even talk to you. So,
They're a dime a dozen.
play in a bigger group too, if you don't think small, and things are going to work for you.
Yep.
Don't be afraid of the bigger numbers. If you really set it up properly and set it up right and take calculated risk, you're going to win.
Well, we're going to talk about the calculation in a minute.
Okay.
But let's start from the beginning on this particular property.
Yeah.
How did you find it?
I found this through an agent. I'm working with an agent. I've worked with her for the last 5 years. She has found me some deals to purchase, some for rehab, and I told her what I'm looking for, and she went to work.
So what did you tell her?
Find me these kind of houses that are not selling fast enough. Unfortunately, or fortunately for the owner of this house, they didn't even finish rehabbing before I talked to them. And because of the way we negotiated what I offered them, and when I looked at the property, it needed a lot of work. They were already planning on doing some of the work, but I asked them to do certain things and some extra work. They were willing to do it anyway. So it's all part of the negotiation that we went through, and they did a lot of the work for me. So I really, work-wise, rehab-wise, it has been rehab. It was totally rehab before I take over. But I haven't done anything at all. So I give them a list of what I want him to do, and they did all of it. And they said, well, that was what we were going to do anyway, most likely a different color or different style or whatever, but they did it my way.
All right, so you were targeting houses in the MLS that's been on the market for a while. Long days on market, I assume.
That's what I told my agent, but she looked at this property, And this property was on the market for only 5 days before we put it on the contract. Yeah.
Well, back to what you
Yeah.
were targeting. Were you actually targeting this price range?
Yeah.
And she happened to find it, or were you
Exactly.
targeting lower and she found this?
No, we are targeting this price range
Okay.
and this size property. So I was telling her, and for you guys, if anyone want to help me and make some money, I'll make sure you make some money. I'm looking for these kind of properties, Metro Atlanta area. What I'm looking at, 5,000 square feet or larger. Most of these are going to be $1 million or above anyway. So, and they are in nice neighborhoods. If there are owner financing or any kind of financing or lease option available, that's what I would be looking for. Because I'm not going to pay cash, $1.5 million for a house like this, just so I can do Airbnb.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I'm looking for owner finance, creative financing, lease option, and those kind of things.
So how did this happen in 5 days if they just put it on the market? What was the situation that they were willing to do, sell it to you without paying
They
them all
actually
cash?
wanted to sell it. The owner of this property is very busy. He's a surgeon, got 5 offices. He doesn't have any time for it. So he's like, I have moved out already. Only one man, a single man, was living in this house, and he like, I haven't used most of the house. He had never been upstairs since he has bought the property. So he said, I just don't want any headaches. Of course, because of my experience, and I showed him what I can do, what I will do, and what I promised him. It was not that hard to get it my way.
So what was your offer?
Well, we actually did a lease option on this property. I gave him the right to sell the property if he can sell it for higher than, but they have to, we have it on a contract as lease for 24 months with an option for me to extend it for another 24 months, or I can purchase it and pay him off within that 24 or 48 months.
So he's got a lease with
Or
with the right to purchase the property in the form of an option. And obviously you have the right to sublease it.
Yes. Yeah, I don't hide things from people.
So he knows Rock's not living here.
Right. I told him exactly what I will be doing to it, exactly how we are going to get it occupied. So I give him a list of what I'm going to do and how his payments were kind of guaranteed that it will be made. Basically, when I ran the numbers for him, he was asking me, if you find another property, you want me to buy it, I'll buy it for you. You just keep paying me rent. So I have, he's really pretty wealthy and got lots of cash that he doesn't know what to do with. So.
Now, was the house free and clear? Was there an underlying mortgage?
On this property, it's free and clear.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's all cash flow to him.
To him, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And I got it below market.
That's
payment on that. So.
Well, that was going to be my question. What is market rent in this price range?
Around 7,000, 7,500, or maybe a little higher.
Rent?
On rent.
Really?
Yeah. You're looking at Buckhead, and you're looking at nice.
Correct.
Yeah. So.
But usually, the higher the price range, the old 1% rule,
Right.
kind of diminishes.
Well, this is almost 0.5% if
Correct.
you're looking at it that way.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I was wondering how much it diminishes, and if
Yeah.
people are actually paying that kind of money to rent.
I would say the 1% rule applies to properties up to $250,000.
That's right.
Anything below that anything
diminishes.
above that changes.
Yep. So did you get on Rent-A-Meter or Zillow to figure out what the rent comps were in the area?
On this property, I didn't even run it. I knew what it was.
Okay.
So, and to me, when I run the numbers as far as marketing and what it was going to bring back, I was going to pay even more than what we agreed on anyway. So,
Well, that's what I want to talk about next. You guys have heard of like the Mayo formula for determining cash offers on ugly properties? It's depending on your number, 65% to 70%, one of the two, times the after repair value minus repairs. If you're wholesaling it, minus your profit. Well, what's the formula for calculating Airbnbs?
To do it right, if you're calculating your income weekend, the 8 days of the month, if that covers your rent and your expenses, great. If that covers your rent, you still have other expenses, right? Like the upkeep, the maintenance. Well, maintenance is not my problem, it's his, but we still do take care of small maintenance ourselves. I don't want to bother him with everything that goes wrong with the property. Otherwise, it becomes a headache to him. And that's why, so as far as when you're calculating your numbers, if your weekends is covering all your expenses, then you're good. And that's how I run my numbers.
Okay. Now, what are the numbers?
What are the numbers? This property, my weekends are average about $1,000 a night. Saturday, Friday, Saturday, and I don't rent one night only, so it's minimum of 2 nights on weekends. So I'm getting $8,000 a month out of the 2 weekends, or the 4 weekends, or 2 nights minimum per night per stay.
So $1,000 on weekends
Well, what we do
a day.
a little bit marketing technique that I use. Everyone is looking for a good price, cheap price, low price, right? So I have it rented for a very low amount, but it's a huge house and we can sleep up to 26 people because of the way we have it set up. All those beds, you know, we are gonna go and see the queen size beds, and I have twin beds and day beds, and also it has trundles. So basically 2 beds looking like one. And every room can sit at least 4 people, or downstairs even more. So that's how I have it set up. Now what I do is market it for a little lower amount, but that's for 2 people only. But 2 people
That was
don't want
gonna
to
be the
stay here
question.
2 people don't stay here.
As we get into the numbers of Airbnb versus the numbers on the house itself, you talk about occupancy. How many people are going to be staying here? And then you charge per head.
Right.
So for a family of 4 or a family of 8 or a family of 15, the rent goes up.
I had a family of 25 people staying here for Thanksgiving. They stayed here for 3 nights, and it was almost $5,500
Yep.
for those 3 nights.
So when you were talking to the seller, you told him you were going to be renting out of Airbnb? Or,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was he concerned about having people in and out of his house
He
all the time?
was. The few things that I promised him, like I'm not going to bother him with all the little details and little maintenance and all of that, which I took over. Because at the end of the day, if someone is at your property and something goes wrong, you're not going to wait on him to send someone here 3 days later. You have to take care of it right away.
Right away.
So that's why I told him, I'm not going to bother you with any of that. And
So what did you end up negotiating for your flat price per month?
$6,500 for this house.
Okay, that's pretty
Which
good.
is very low for Buckhead, for this area especially.
Well, he was saying average rents was $7,000, so you're
Or higher.
Yeah, you're in the ballpark.
Yeah.
And you said you were willing to pay more, knowing that you could get it back.
Right.
So do the math in your head.
Yep,
6,500,
4,000.
8 weekends. You said 8 days and
8 days.
8 days worth of weekends times $1,000. I think you said.
Yep.
It's 8,000 right there.
So you're not looking at rent only. I have other expenses too. So by the time I'm done with the rest of the expenses, I'm looking at $8,500 to $9,000 a month expenses, including rent. So that covers my income and outgo, and then of course everything else about that is profit.
On top of the rent, you're paying the utilities.
Yep.
Water, gas, electric,
Right.
trash.
That's part of the payment. No, I don't pay for trash.
Okay, any other miscellaneous expenses that you're
I
being?
buy additional insurance for Airbnb,
Okay.
which is additional. No, it's just an insurance for the Airbnb and for the house.
Yep.
Yeah,
yep.
yeah.
And I'm going to open it up to questions here in just a second. Does Airbnb themselves cover a lot of the expenses?
They
Do they kind of like layer things on top of the nightly rent?
Yeah.
I thought so.
Yeah.
You going to share that?
So, depending on a channel, really, some of them have their fee and it takes everything away from there, and some of them, couple of them, or Airbnb actually adds on top of what you're asking. So if you're asking for $500 a night and their fee is 10%, they add their fee on top of it. A couple of them charges you, basically your $500 turns into $450 to you. So as long as you set it up properly at the beginning, you're going to get what you want.
And I've heard some of them add on maintenance. You know,
Not
cleaning, the
maintenance,
cleaning
insurance.
fees.
Well, I charge $350 cleaning for this house. It's
On
a
top.
on top of whatever they want to say. Yeah,
Yes.
because that's an expense.
Correct.
And they need to be covered.
And that's what I meant by you weren't covering it, they were.
The gas store covers.
Because depending on the channel, sometimes it's added in, sometimes you add it on top, I guess.
No, almost all channels have
Cleaning fee.
that
Cleaning
you
fee.
can add to your listing. Yeah.
Any other fees go back to the tenant? Or the occupant? What do you call them? The guest?
Guest.
The guest.
Yeah. Any other fees? The channel fees they usually pay, the cleaning fee they pay, the taxes they pay. So by the time they are done with your renting this property, 2 people will not stay here because of all these additional fees that adds on. So I market this one right now at a very low price. First is the season because a lot of the properties stay vacant, and on top of that, the competition is there. So if someone, there are a small number of people want to stay, they might want to go to a smaller place just because of the lower price. So I keep it at $300 a night for weekdays, but
Wow.
I also have $350 cleaning fee. So if only 2 people want to stay, they're not going to stay here just because of the cleaning fee.
I might
They don't wanna
stay
go
here
away.
one night. Jeez.
Okay.
That's a pretty good price, $300.
That's, yeah. So
Wow.
by the time you're done with
You
it,
got a
it'll
hot
be
tub
like
here somewhere?
$700. I got a shower that's my favorite part of house.
Nice.
You guys will see and see why.
So how long have you had this property?
Only 3 months. September 20th was my first opening day.
Of the 3 months, how well are you keeping it occupied?
First 2 months, and that's what I was talking when I was talking to the coach. He was like, "I'll help you keep it occupied 70%." I run my number like I'm at 90% already. Why do I have to go backwards with your help?
90%.
My first 2 months, I was 90% occupancy. This month of December, has been terrible. My first weekend ever since I opened this house was vacant last weekend. No one booked it, but other than that, it has been occupied the entire time since I got it.
Now, when that occurs, when nobody is booking it, do you go in there and have some kind of flash sale or something? Black Friday sale? Or?
Yep, there are sales. There are some options for you to advertise and get more people, and some of them you get it for as long as the house stays occupied. If it's sitting vacant, it's costing me about $300 a night if it's sitting vacant.
Yep.
So,
Now, are there certain groups or folks that you won't take,
that I would not take.
that you would not take? You make a decision, no.
I looked at who is coming really, and I do my research on first who is, inquiring about the property. I don't allow pets, I don't allow parties, and I don't allow smokers. If they want to smoke outside, great, but if they do get caught smoking inside the house, there's a $1,000 fine.
Okay.
Someone wants to stay here for a whole month, but they have 3 little Chihuahua puppies. I told them no.
Yep.
That would have been a great month for me. An awesome month. It would have been 100% occupancy, but because of the 3 dogs, I told them no. So
To avoid the parties, one of my friends who does a lot of Airbnbs doesn't rent to people from the same town.
yeah,
Because why would you stay here if you're from the same town?
Right.
Other than to throw a party.
right.
So that's one of his screening criteria is where are you from, and he will exclude them if they're from the same town.
Yeah.
But then he always, how many guests are staying with you? Who are they? Are they relatives? Or are they just miscellaneous people?
So what I do to avoid those kind of things also, if they are from, within state or especially around Metro Atlanta area, I ask who's staying, how many people are staying. I also ask for an additional deposit. And I tell them from beginning, smoking, $1,000 fine. If there's a party, $1,000 fine. I also have cameras, so a few things.
I was going to ask you about that.
To protect myself, I do have cameras at the front and the back, so we know who's coming, who's going. And the way I have it set up, everything in the house I can control by my phone. The doors, the alarms, the Wi-Fi, and also we have noise control. So and the way I have it set up is TV level. So if it goes above TV level, I get a beep right away, and I through the cameras I can hear what's going on.
So
And there's the camera. I just saw them right
this
away.
is a great business to be in if you're a voyeur. So do you look at their ratings? You know
Yes.
how you get a rating as a host?
Yep.
Are you able to see their ratings? And
Yes.
if they fall below a certain rating, do you exclude them?
If they fall below 3 or 4 stars, really 4 stars, I ask questions, and for those I don't exclude them, because there are some hosts and some guests that are terrible and they give you stupid comments. Like the party that stayed here for 25 people, they came through VRBO, and only I have about 20 ratings so far since people came here, and rated, all of them are really 5-star ratings. Except one. They give me a 4-star. And you know why? After giving him a discount, I didn't have enough silverware for 25 people. Like, okay, I told them, go to hell, don't reserve my house anymore.
Wow.
But they give me a 4-star, so I kind of read what's going on and what the comments are and why they got the bad ratings. Right. It could be the host, it could be the guest. Some people you can never satisfy.
Yep.
I give them a discount, I give them accommodation, I actually help them, went way out of my way to make it happen for them.
I've been told you really have to go out of your way to make sure you ask for that 5-star rating and try to do your best to get that 5-star rating. Because I hear the higher your rating is, that, when you become a
search engine, yeah.
Yeah, you show up more in the search.
Exactly. That's why I have all my ratings 5 stars, and I make sure that I get the 5 stars.
And
I ask for it.
I don't.
Sometimes you get it.
Is this your only Airbnb so far?
No, I got 2 more, so I have 3 so far now.
Or what's that status you get with an Airbnb? You're like a platinum host or something. What's it
You
called?
become a partner.
Superhost.
Superhost, yeah.
And I heard your first 72 hours are really critical once you launch your first Airbnb or your next Airbnb to get it booked and stuff. Are you considered a superhost yet?
I became superhost within my first 30 days. But the way they do it, they calculate your numbers. They look at your I met the criteria within first 30 days.
That's what I heard. Because I heard once you do it, you want to strive to get that as soon as possible.
They actually come and review your account and review you every 3 months. So I didn't have that going on. So now I have to wait till January 1st, end of this month, to get my status and show a superhost. But it has a lot of benefits too when you're a superhost.
Exactly. So you just don't want to do your first Airbnb kind of willy-nilly.
No.
You want to do it and do it right and have it nice and tight so that you can earn that as soon as possible.
Exactly.
And you'll get more bookings because you like to rise up in the search engine. They promote you really hard. If you don't do well right away, you fall to the bottom of their ratings, and that's why a lot of vacant properties are out there. They're not competitive. Nobody's seeing them. They don't even know they exist.
Right.
Yep.
And there are thousands of listings on Airbnb.
It's getting really popular.
Not many of these size houses, but other than that, smaller homes, the 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom. I mean, especially now because of the Super Bowl coming in town.
Exactly. So before we open up to questions, I got at least one more. A lot of people are nervous about doing Airbnb because of regulations.
Yeah.
One of our friends, Alan, was going to do one out in the middle of nowhere out in Cumming.
Yeah.
But Fulton or whatever has certain restrictions on Airbnb. You can't do short-term rentals under a certain time period or something. I don't know the details, but I've heard that a lot of places, like down in the Gulf Coast, St. Pete, there's areas where they won't allow Airbnb because it competes with all the real bona fide bed and breakfasts and the hotel business and taxes and all that. They get like regulated out. Are you concerned about that? And since you've been researching this, do you know of any restrictions in this area that we should be aware of if we're thinking about doing this?
Yeah, don't do any Airbnb. That you'll become my competition. No, actually, I did some research on it. There are, like Brookhaven, they have changed their rules, and almost Airbnb is out of business because of the way they have done it. So in this case, I did my research. There's nothing going on in Buckhead right now, but they are the most likely are going to follow somebody's rules. So I don't know what that is yet. And one of the things I negotiated with the homeowner prior to us putting everything on a contract is protect myself. So I do have that in writing that if the city changed their rules and regulations, I have the right to give them a notice and get out of it.
That's a golden nugget right there. That's everybody's big concern. Hey, I'm committing to making this guy's $6,500 payment every month.
Yep.
What if the rules change and I got 12 of these in Buckhead and the rules change suddenly?
Yeah.
Am I going to be stroking a check for, tens and tens and tens of thousands of dollars every month for a bunch of empty houses?
Well, to me, just besides the money, my reputation is important. So I don't want to kind of deal with something like this and it says vacant and I have to go through eviction and my name is all over the eviction court. So I don't want to deal with that, of course. And like I said earlier, if you're doing business, just look at your risk and calculate it and take risk, but calculated risk. And to me, that was calculated risk. I mean, if I have it in writing, I can get out of it anytime.
And it sounds like you gave the guy full disclosure, built in a few protections for yourself, which I'm sure he understands.
Yep.
So
that's what I would suggest if you guys are really planning on doing this business. First, don't hide it from the homeowner, because sooner or later they're going to find out. Like one of my guests that came over here, see that the driveway, they went straight to the house over there.
Almost did too. I didn't even see this house back here.
Yeah, you don't.
I thought it just came around to the garage or something.
Right. So they went straight to their house, knocked on the door, and it was one of my first few guests. And so they couldn't find, and they went online and did some research, and they found the listing agent to the house, and they called the listing agent. The listing agent called the owner, and the owner called me like, one of your guests is looking for the house. And like, they give me the number, and I call them. So if I had, trying to be sneaky about it, they would have found out before my second guest being in the house. So don't do that. And on top of it, some people try to do it like in HOAs where they know it's not allowed. Sooner or later, they'll tell on you. I mean, it's not, members of HOAs are going to tell on you, and then next thing you know, you're out of business. So
HOAs can be tough.
Yeah, do it in the area from beginning. Be totally honest and upfront with what I did is I have created a checklist of what I will do and what are the benefits of working with me compared to a rental tenant, which we offer at least 10 benefits compared to just an extra rental tenant. So those were pluses that the homeowner sees, and that's why if it's me and you standing right next to each other and you want to just rent the property and I want to do Airbnb, most likely the homeowners are going to see that and they will pick my offer over them.
Yeah, one of the big benefits is, people paying $6,500, $7,000 in rent. What if life happens to them? Life happens when you get split it up among, dozens of people every month.
Right.
The risk, I think, is greatly diminished.
Right. I mean, people go through a divorce. Business owners go through a divorce. Well, what if that happens? Now, all of a sudden,
lawsuits, divorce, you name it.
So
Job transfer. But let's open it up some questions. Maria, I know you had your hand up a time or two. Let's start with you.
I started as Airbnb in 2013, but I started in a small one,
Okay.
That's my first before. And the same as what I'm asking is I added the maintenance fee, and then the Airbnb they before the clients will communicate with you, they have already verified
Right.
everything about the client, or else they will not be going to communicate with you. And the thing is, it's a pretty good income, but do you once they left everything like unclean, do you charge? Because the credit card is in with your possession,
Well, it depends on how you have set up your account.
Yeah.
If you have set it up right, you should have access to their credit card and their information. But just because you have the credit card information, that doesn't mean you'll take your money and get it and keep it. They can dispute that charge. They can tell Airbnb that they shouldn't have been there and all of that, and they can reverse it. So I don't ask for a deposit, even though at a house like this, I don't ask for a deposit, so I can get as many guests as I can and keep the occupancy level high. But because of that, there are going to be some times where you have to spend some of the money you're making back on the property. Like one time we had a group that came and stayed here five nights. They say there were going to be 8 people. By the time we found out, every bed was used. So we know that there were much more than 8 people. Even the trundles were out and used. So we could tell it was at least 15 to 20 people in the house, but we didn't catch it on time. So when I contacted them, they said, no, we were there, and sometime when our friends came over, they didn't stay over the night, but they're allowed to have guests here, right, during daytime if they are not staying at night. So they didn't admit to that, and because we had no proof, and at that time the camera and all that were not set properly, we just lost that. And then my cleaning people charged me like $125, $150 more because there was much more for them to clean. So I paid for it. So that was all.
Let's go over here.
Yes.
We'll mix it up a little bit. I'll get you again, Maria.
So I don't know if you guys know this one, but did you know a good way to find inventory that you can Airbnb out is by looking at new construction projects?
Yeah.
And finding out people that sell new construction and know what's up and coming, because they typically allow for 25% lease permits. And you can get in there as new construction, and it's not as strict as the resale condos and townhomes. And I'm actually in new construction and know of a couple things coming up in the springtime.
Okay.
So if you're interested, I'll get your email address.
Give me your information before you leave. But yeah.
Is that your agent?
No. My future agent.
Let's go over here.
When events such as the Super Bowl is coming up,
Yeah.
do you I suppose you're going to be raising your prices during that time?
I
or
already have.
peak? Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So would you base your prices on what other homes in the area Airbnbs are charging? How do you know, like, to go from 6,500 to 10,000, say,
Okay.
to try to make that kind of...
Okay. So what I did, I didn't pay attention right at the beginning. I opened up the dates, but then I opened it on every 3 months, and then my assistant, I have a VA that does a lot of my my marketing for me, virtual assistant for those who don't know what VA stands for. So I have a virtual assistant that does a lot of my work for me, and he actually had opened up the date and time all the way past Super Bowl. And guess what? Within like 3 hours of it opening, someone booked it at the lowest price possible. So we had to negotiate with him and get that canceled, and it was through booking.com, and they found something else for them. They moved them out of us, so we actually blocked the dates again. But then what we did is looking at the prices. A house like this where 26 people can live in or stay in, is rare to find, especially for events like that or days, weekends or weeks like that. So we raised the price to $5,000 a night, and I do 5 nights minimum. And if I named his name, you guys will know him right away because everyone loves his music. He wants to stay here, but his manager wants to be so cheap and don't want to pay me. I was like, if I have to buy your music, I'm going to have to pay full price for it. Why do you want a discount from me? Just because I know you? You don't know me yet. So I didn't, they want to pay $20,000 and stay here for 6 nights. And my price is $5,000, minimum 5 nights. So, and if there is additional guests and a higher number of it could be more than $5,000 a night. And I'm either getting it or I refuse the $20,000 stay at this property already. So I want more than that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right here, Johnny?
Yes. You may have covered it already, but I just want to be clear. What's your profit, average profit minus what you make
Expenses and
minus your
everything?
expenses?
Yeah, just so far. He's asking what your average profit is, what you net each month, based on the few short months you've been here.
My goal is to get around $15,000. So far, I'm right around the 10 to 12,000 average for first 2 months. Now, this month has been slower because of the month of December, because of that time of the year.
This month through
So
your
this
average
month
off.
has been, this month most likely, if I break even, I'll be fine. Yeah, because of the December. But prior to that, I was just running my numbers earlier today. First 30 days, we made around $15,000 on it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. 17? Okay. So it's possible to do it right, especially with a bigger group. A big house like this can handle big number of people or big groups here. So that's what my main focus is. And the people who have been here so far, because we are in the entertainment city of the South, really.
Yeah.
Singers, a lot of music groups, filmmakers, and those kind of groups have been here so far.
Have you entertained the idea of doing any longer term rentals for like people that come in to make movies that are here for a month or so?
I haven't got the offer yet.
Okay.
That one offer that I got, they want to stay here for the whole month, but they have 3 puppies, and I said no.
Yeah.
So that's the only offer I got.
Are you doing anything to target that industry?
I'm actually working on that. Create a marketing group. So the couple of other groups that actually wanted this property that we have done 1 or 2 stays with them, or they have reserved it a couple of times, are people who want to come and do short movies. So I'm working on that, targeting that. Like the other group I'm marketing, like the ones. So the movie industry is big, and the music, music industry is big.
A lot of events here, a lot of corporate events.
Corporate events. A few times people from New York and from North came here, like groups of 6 and 12 came and stayed here, especially for the events, for corporate meetings and stuff like that. But that's what my main focus target is so far.
Cool.
Mr. Shukoor, I have 2 questions.
Yes.
Okay, you say you have cameras front and back here, but do you also kind of like hire security, to come check if you have big groups here? Do you sometimes feel uncomfortable and you hire the, security or something to come around during that weekend to make sure everything is
So far, I haven't felt that way.
Okay.
So I have not hired anyone, but I do have someone that if I need to, he's an active police officer. He's a 6'4", 6'5", 300 pounds. Anyone that you walk to will be scared of him. So
I thought for a second you were going to say you're going to send Jack Coudron over here.
actually, he was sent to me by Jack. He's bigger than Jack.
Oh,
and
yeah?
more masculine than Jack. So yeah. So you can actually have the right person to back you up if you need it. Yeah.
And that, your big groups, they're all together, they know each other. It's not like you have different groups here that's not affiliated.
No, they're not affiliated with each other at all. They're totally separate.
And that works out good for two different,
They are not here at the same time.
okay.
So, you know, when we get the house rented, occupied, it's one group at a time, one family at a time, one party at a time. Only one person is responsible for everything. Yeah.
Let's change position.
All right. So I'm going to come all the way over here.
All right, this next question is from Joseph. He had one.
Yeah, Rock. So with how busy you are with your schedule, right? You're a wholesaler, you're an investor. How time consuming is Airbnb to you? Because obviously
That's a great question.
You gotta find the right avenues to market your deal. And then while the actual guest is here, are you actively like, I don't want to say popping in, but you have to, you know, have that in your mind. That, okay, what if happens? Something happens, right?
So two things. I really believe in kind of getting good at your trade, whatever that is, right? So for me, I kind of, what I learned, I could have done it totally hands-off from beginning, but I decided that I want to really be hands-on at the beginning to learn, to reply to the inquiries, to comments, questions, all of that at the beginning. So first 60 days of that was very hands-on, and I just focused on it. Once I learned what needs to be done, I have two virtual assistants that are basically replying to me. I purchased a couple of softwares that are making life easier for me. Once I learned more about business and what makes it easier, I just invested in that. I have my assistant Clarissa. We actually have a house together. One of the 3 houses she's my partner in that. She saw the profit and the opportunity. Like, you're not doing it by yourself. You gotta get a piece of the pie. So she's doing a lot of that work too. As far as me kind of popping in on people and like, oh, see how many people here, I don't do that.
Okay.
I don't do that. I verify that before they come in. I get the names of how many people are coming here, give me the actual names of them. One of the groups, it was a singer and his group and his bodyguards and all of that group of 9 people wanted to come here. They want like, we're staying, but I can't give you the name of the main guy. And it was his manager who was managing it. Like, I don't care. Don't give me his name, but I want everyone else's. So,
as long as you pay.
That's not exactly. I mean, if I really pushed it, I would have gotten it, but I don't care. I mean,
So who was it? Did you find out who it was?
No, I didn't even ask them. If they don't want to share it, I don't give it to them.
I was asking about time. That was what I was interested in.
You want to know what?
I was interested in how much time you were spending. So
Yeah, basically
Okay.
the question was how much time do you personally spend managing this process?
At the beginning, it was a lot because hands-on. I learned about it. Now, on this house, the only time I really am spending is marketing. So maybe an hour, 2 hours a day, focus on marketing, and I get my assistant to do it for me. Because my virtual assistant, I hired him 2 weeks ago full-time. So he's just on there doing a lot of the work. I'm teaching him what I have taught him.
So what I heard him say is he did it in the beginning himself. He's doing the marketing himself to get it down. Then he can give it to somebody else and have them do it for him.
Right. So the other 2 properties that I also have, we're doing a lot of the setting up, this part of it. I do myself to make sure everything is set up, because if they are virtual, they'll never see your property. They'll never come to America to begin with. So you got to tell them what it is. So instead of me telling him year this, I can go on a website and fill up all that information and be faster that way and more accurate. So that's why I do the setup at the beginning, and then I let them manage it from there on. And well, I manage it, but they do the work.
Oh, we had a question over here.
Who was?
Right here in the corner.
Do you have to disclose about the cameras? Is there something they sign?
Yes. If you don't, you're going to be in trouble.
Repeat the question.
Do you have to disclose that there are cameras in the property? Yes. Cameras are not allowed in areas where people can walk around naked. Like bedrooms, bathrooms, you shouldn't be. Like a living room like this, you shouldn't have it. So what I have it is inside the house, but it's focused really on the front door, and that's the only thing it's capturing. The back side is basically it's covering the back door and back side and the patio, but that's the only thing that I cover. But yes, it is on every channel that I have cameras on those 2-3 places. And a couple of people had issues with them. I told them, I say, it's not for your protection, but it's only for me. But truly, it's for your protection as well, in case I see something is going on and it's not part of your group. And after I explained it that way, they didn't do anything. Now, a couple of times before I really set up the camera and totally kind of secured it properly, I had it sitting on the table. And as soon as they would walk in, oh, there's a camera, they would just turn around and put it facing at the wall. I didn't see anything.
Exactly.
So I would call them like, hey, what did you do with the camera? They will unplug it.
Exactly.
We had to deal with that with a couple of guests, and guess what? The ones that were doing that were also the troublemakers. So I kind of knew right away from beginning that I had to watch for that.
All right, Clarissa had a question over here, then we'll pan back over here.
I was just going to add up a little bit on how much time we spend. Now, when they do leave, we do come and check to make sure that the house is in order, to make sure that there's no damages done to the house. So we do check.
We don't check on every guest.
We do pop-ups.
Pop-ups we do, okay. One thing to what she said, you got to have the right team in place. So our cleaning crew does a lot of the checkouts for us. So when we feel uncomfortable, we do check on them, but majority of the time we depend on their feedback, because they know exactly how the house should look like when they're done cleaning. So next time they come here and they say, well, there's a plate missing, they know. And they will tell us right away. If there's a scratch on the floor or so, they take pictures of it and send it to us right away. So they kind of, you got to train your crew.
Inspect what you expect.
Exactly.
Tips? They give tips?
Do we?
We give them tips.
The occupants give you tips?
They have never left any money behind. So. Yeah. They feel like they're paying enough for the house. They didn't leave anything behind.
Good point.
They have left some drink and some beer and some liquor behind. That's good enough tip for me.
All right, we had a question over here.
Who was that?
I just want to piggyback off a little bit of what you said before. It don't sound like you've had any problematic guests where you would have to give them bad ratings. It don't sound like it. But I
did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, a couple.
Okay. So how would you handle a situation like wanting to keep your rating high, superhost status, and if you had to give someone a bad rating and also charge them, and they're not happy with the charges, of course they're not going to come back and give you a high rating.
Good point. How do you avoid that?
How do you avoid that?
So two things. Airbnb or most channels, they don't share your rating. They want both of you to rate each other before they can show it to you. So you don't know what the rating is till you get it, till they also comment and give you ratings. So it could be like you give them 5-star and they give you a 1-star, like, hey, it don't match, what happened here? And the 5-star, the people that I give a 5-star, they give me 4-star. If I had known about it, I would have given them 3 stars. But anyway, but you don't see it till after it's already too late. And then you can't change it once it's done.
Well, if they're delayed in giving you your rating,
they still don't see it.
Yeah, but I'm in the middle of a dispute right now.
Yeah.
I Airbnb my basement. I'm in the middle of a dispute, and the guy refused to pay the extra charges.
Okay.
And so he's not going to like that. He's not going to give me a good review.
Right. So, like I said...
And then he loved the place, but all of a sudden he's upset.
Yeah. What I was told that your 5-star ratings are great, but you're not going to have 5-star ever. Some people, doesn't matter what you do, are not going to be happy. And some people like that, they're happy, and the minute you ask for additional fee and whatever else that you ask for and they don't agree with, then they're going to, from 5-star that they think they were going to give you, is going to turn into a 3-star. So as long as you have a 4.5-star or higher, that's part of the business. And to me, that 1 4-star that I got is a listing we had to VRBO. It doesn't affect me in any way at all. I'm totally going to shut down that account. Like, just go away and have my 5-star. Right now I have about 19 or 20, all 5-star ratings. I'm going to keep that.
Yep.
Outside cameras are great. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't, just in the Airbnb space, can
Yeah.
you dispute a lower star through Airbnb?
Yes, you can, but they would not, most likely they would not change it for you. Unless they go and determine that it was done just to viciously to hurt you
That's
on
okay. If it was
purpose.
something like ridiculous where you know,
Yeah, yeah.
like you can prove it.
You can prove it.
They do
And,
take-
and even that, they wouldn't really remove as rating, just a 4-star rating just because you want 5-star. Like, well, that's their opinion and they want to keep it that way. Now, if they give you a 1-star and say all these wrong things about you and you prove that was not true, then they are going to look at it for you.
Yep. Lady behind you.
Hey, Rocky. So maybe I missed when you started this. When did you start?
September 28th was my first opening day.
Okay. And so can you tell me who else is on your team besides, you said you had a VA, you have a cleaning crew, and you have also DeRosa. Is that right? Is there anyone else on your team? Dealing with the Airbnb.
I have 2 to 3 virtual assistants that sometimes we get help from, but one is full-time virtual assistant that works on this. Clarissa, of course, the cleaning crew, the maintenance person is important. Who else do we have that we're kind of? That's it so far, really. That's the core. You got to have a good cleaning crew, and because you can set up everything like the cleaning, the sheets, the laundry, all of that got to get done. And then the maintenance person, you got to have someone on staff that can call them and come here at like 2 o'clock at night if you need them. Yeah.
And so your goal is to scale additional properties?
Yeah.
Is that accurate?
It's already being done, but yes.
Oh, it's already
Yeah.
being
Tell them what your goal is. You
Yeah.
told me. Tell them what your goal is in case it's changed.
It has changed. I wanted to have 10 properties within the next 6 months. That was a month ago. So right now we are at 3. And I want all of it to be 5,000 square feet or larger. Now,
So
with
it's
10 of them within 6 months may not be reality. But look, to me, the way I look at it, if you shoot for the moon and you miss, you become a star. I'm gonna go there.
And are you targeting like this area so they're close to each other or all over?
No.
different areas?
Actually, I'm looking at all over the United States, wherever there is a good deal outside the United States, because I don't want to have it all in Bucket, and the Bucket changed their rules, and now I'm out of business. So,
Exactly.
I want to go to other states as well. Yeah.
Okay. I want to take a few more questions here real quick and then turn you loose. We'll go look at the house. I'm going to have Rock give me and the camera a tour, and then we'll recongregate here before we wrap up for some additional questions. Does that sound good? Let's knock a few more out real quick.
Yeah.
Your other 2 Airbnbs, you mentioned you have 2 others.
Yeah.
Did you target that area, or how are they performing compared to this house?
Okay, one is not very far from here. It's a smaller property, and it's not performing as well as this one because it's in a great area, but still is a 3-bedroom home. There's plenty of other competition, so we got to fix that and make some adjustments to make that work. We're still working on that. My third one, I just signed a contract on it Saturday. We're getting the key on that today. They're still doing some additional work, and the exterior is being, so being proactive, I ordered over $10,000 worth of furniture for it yesterday and today, and I was working on that earlier today. So we are going to have the furniture, the beds, and I'm going to show you exactly what the beds look like. So I'm just basically, I have created a cookie cutter method following the same process again and ordering the same thing for every house.
All right, let's take these last 2 questions and then go take a tour. We'll get you first?
Yeah.
So when you have, I don't know if you had any damage done by your guests in the house.
Yeah.
If they did any damage, how do you enforce that? I mean, how do you get the money from them? Or
My last,
enforce it?
okay, how do you get your money if there are any damages done? You basically dispute that. If you have a credit card, you send them a list of what you're charging them for. And I can tell you, 99% of them will say, no, I didn't do it, or no, don't charge them. But also Airbnb is on your side. The insurance is on your side. If you buy additional insurance, those are the protections that you get. Besides that, there's not much you can do. But for those of you who really are scared of your house is getting, burned down or damaged a whole lot, people respect the houses, if they come.
Especially in the higher price ranges.
In the higher price ranges. People who come here and they can spend $1,000 or $3,000 for 2 nights, I mean, they most likely have houses similar to this or close to it. Now, every guest that I have had so far have bragged about how good and nice and clean the house was. So even if they don't live at this level, they still are living close enough where they can respect something like this and leave it in pretty good shape for you.
All right, one last question, then we're going to take a tour.
Yeah.
Airbnb is totally on your side. And pictures and videos help whenever you have a dispute.
Right. If you don't have it, they're not going to help you a whole lot. It's like your words against them, and that's all.
Picture and the video
Picture,
will
video.
help you. But I have not found proof. But I was told that negative reviews or negative remarks last shorter towards your account than does positive, and they fall off within a few months. You know that to be true or not?
No, it's not true. It's gonna stay in your account for as long as the good reviews. So, but one thing I do, and I was told that it works, and more than one person has commented on that positively. When there's a negative review, go back and reply back to that. They say, well, the house looked like crap. Like, well, what part of it? I mean, we did all this, we do this, we have pictures, they look beautiful before you walked in here, so what kind of proof you have? Or we did this and this to make sure your problem was taken care of. As long as you have that. I mean, people who look, like I said, I do myself. When I look at someone and they have a 3-star, I look at comments like, okay, what did the host say about him? Or what did the guest say about him? And if those are valid reasons, like one of the girls that I met not long ago, she's in an Airbnb space. She has a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, and she just opened her house. Her second guest. The mother is a local person who reserved the house for her daughter. It was going to be 5 people staying at the property, and it was her birthday, so the mother was responsible for everything. Guess what? That 5 people turned into like 35, 40, 50 people. All young adults having a party, loud music, cars everywhere, the police were involved. So it was her bad experience. Now she's like, I don't want to do this anymore. So, if it's local, just kind of protect yourself. And also, now she went and commented, like, we rented it for this many people and the party showed up and all of that. So most likely they're going to get a ding on their report and how bad they are. But as far as the homeowner, I don't think if she's gonna get any kind of bad reporting, because she tried to kick him out and the police wouldn't kick him out. Because like that's just an agreement between you guys. We have nothing to do with it. So that's why they do not kick him out of the house.
Okay. Do you have a comment?
As far as like damages are concerned, the key is to communicate. And what Rock does really well is that he actually, contacts the guests. And if they have an issue, he communicates with them on a regular basis if they need them. When they call him, he acts immediately. And I think that is what makes our ratings stay pretty well, is because of the communication that he enhances to the guests. So that's really, really important.
Is that through
that we do
email?
that.
Email communication?
No, he communicates with them by phone.
Okay.
Okay.
So with that said, couple of things I want to share with you guys. One, I came from customer service industry. So I came from the flea market to talking to people and learn how to talk to people, to McDonald's and Pizza Hut, where everything is about customer service, right? I mean, those two companies, they don't have great food, but their service is all about communication so I brought that in this business. So I know kind of how to take care of people. But again, even if you're not in the industry, you don't have that experience. All you got to do is think about how would you feel if that was you, if you were on the other side. Think from their point of view. If you do that they're going to be happy. Just put yourself in their shoes. If the lady that gave me a 4-star, I'm not really upset at her, because even though I told her before she came in here, when she reserved, I say, I don't have all the plates and stuff for your Thanksgiving. Oh, don't worry about it. We're going to go buy some plastic stuff. She still gave me a freaking 4-star review because I didn't have enough glasses for 25 people. You just put yourself in their shoes and take care of them.
All right. Before we turn you guys loose, we have a sponsor here. I want to say a few words real quick. We're going to go for a tour of the house as soon as he's done. Joseph, tell them about Baker Collins real quick.
Sure. First and foremost, my man, I got to give it up to Rock, guys. Give it up.
Thank you.
Just understand it takes a lot of creative thinking, creative ways or formula that he does go by to make this happen. Okay, so I'm a kind of executive with Baker Collins. We finance fix and flip projects. We do buy and hold rentals. We also do new construction and commercial. Now, something like this, as far as a hard money lender, is going to be a bit tough to fund, because, like he said, his ratio of this being occupied is a certain percentage a month versus a guaranteed, let's say, a lease agreement of $1,400, right? So it's a bit tough. Can we do it? that's where we get creative with it and see how we could actually help you and guide you to do it the right way, especially if you're doing the first one, because we want to set you up for success, not to, set you up for failure and all of a sudden, you know what, this wasn't a good fit and now you have a bad taste in your mouth, So, guys, if you're looking for any type of financing, especially as an investor, please reach out to me. If you guys want to write down my phone number, I also will be passing out my business cards as well. It's 404-599-5990. It's also bakercollins.com. We're located in Midtown Atlanta. So if you guys want to pass by to the office or have a one-on-one at a Starbucks, feel free to give me a call. We'll look over and analyze your deal for you. We pull comps as well. It's very important. If you don't have, let's say, a team to start off, like, having a realtor on your team is very important because the individual professional will pull comps for you. We also do that for you as a courtesy at no extra cost. Okay, guys? So once again, my name is Joe Castaneda. My number is 404-599-5990, and it's bakercollins.com.
Very good. Thank you, Joseph. Appreciate it. And so we're going to go and take a tour of the property. I'm going to follow Rock, but let's give it up one more time for him being here today and doing this for us.
So thank you guys. Just by saying that, I appreciate the applause. I'm new to this business, so if I give you some information, that was my personal experience so far. If it was wrong, don't hold it against me.
Yeah, I mean, you've been doing it for 3 months. That's pretty good, right? 3 deals in 3 months. I'm proud of you.
Yeah,
but we're going to go take a tour real quick. If you want to stay, we'll recongregate down here when we're done, take a few more questions.
How many of you took a tour of the upstairs already? All right. So if you guys, okay, never mind. I'm not going to tell you to stay here.
Well, I'm going to follow him.
What we are going to do is we're going to start from the top, go look at those bedrooms, and let's make one lane going in, one coming out, because otherwise we're going to be all over. So come on.
Well, I'm going to follow you.
All right. So
I'm following you.
What are we doing?
Taking a tour.
All right. So for some of you who are thinking about doing things like that, you see these little stuff, knickknacks on the walls and the designer pieces, they make a big difference. I get a lot of comment on those things that I did great and the house looked great. I mean, they're not very expensive, especially if you find them from concession stores, from flea markets, or from estate sales. That's where I get most of the stuff from.
So Rock was saying that he staged this place himself.
Yeah.
Was any of the original furniture or anything left over?
The house was totally vacant.
So the house was totally vacant.
You did a good job with these knickknacks.
He said it was completely vacant, and he did put everything you see. He did it.
So what I do when the rooms, there's enough room in for 2 beds, I actually put a queen size bed and a trundle, which basically that's 1 bed with 1 bed at the bottom. If it's needed, you can pull it out and there are 2 beds in there. So 4 people can sleep here.
Well, I've got a question for you. I was waiting until we started seeing the house before I asked, but on average, what do you spend per bedroom, per room to furnish?
I really haven't calculated that way yet. On average, my expense has been around $30,000 furnishing one house.
For the whole house?
For the whole house.
So you just divide that by the number of rooms?
Yeah, by number. I mean, you can't do just by bedroom because you have living room. Some has, more than one.
That's why I said on average.
So on average, I'm looking about 30 per house.
Okay.
$30,000.
Our friend Duncan once time said he spends about $1,000 per room on average.
Yeah.
So when you average out, the bedroom, the bathrooms, the living areas, the kitchen, on average about $1,000 a room. Does that sound unreasonable?
So if I tell you this right here with bed, and I buy everything when it comes to bedding, the bed covers, the bed sheets, the pillows, mattresses, I buy everything brand new. And I have got plenty of really good comments because of how clean and comfortable and those things were. So for your a lot of people don't buy the bed and frames and all that new and the mattress new. I hate that because you never know where it has been.
Exactly. What do you got, like rooms to go?
Brand new. You want all my secrets now?
Wayfair.
Wayfair is where I buy most of this stuff from, and because of my last 2 properties, like I said, when you play with the bigger boys, they give you bigger discounts and bigger credit. Actually, they put me, just because of purchasing or the volume that the money I have spent with them, they actually turned me into what you call a professional Wayfair account. So you get much bigger, another 10, 20, 30% discount on a lot of things. On top of it, they actually got one of their professional person helping me with all the items. So if all I need to do is give her personal shopper basically. All I do is just tell her what I need for this house. She went back on my last orders, put back everything together for me. Instead of me spending 2 hours on putting everything back together, she did all of it for me. I spent like about an hour on the phone with her 2 days ago, so placed all the orders, and I spent another like 15-20 minutes earlier today before you guys get here, and all my orders are in for.
So if you
the new
didn't hear,
property.
he spent about $30,000 on this house to furnish it and decorate it. Okay.
All right.
Yep, not bad.
So
you can continue to ask questions as he gives us
how
the
did
tour.
he get here?
Last month.
So this is one of the
Here's
many
door there.
bedrooms and baths. We're just kind of taking a tour.
Yeah, so this one is a Jack and Jill bathroom. And for every level, I want to have a iron and iron board, and of course, as you see, towels. Some people do talk about colored towels. I like them all white, so they can see it's clean and nice.
Yep, just like the hotels.
Yep.
Pay $10. Comforter set.
So make note of the things he stages and has in the house. Looks like he's putting some new shelves in here. All right, I lost you, Rock.
I am here, man. I'm here. It's okay.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah. So that was 2. This is bedroom 3.
Rob,
And
where
the whole
do you buy
bathroom.
the furniture from? The beds and...
Wayfair.
Oh, same shop.
Yep.
Yep.
So that's all done online
So
then, huh?
again, every 3 bedroom that we did, same process. Queen size bed, a day bed with a trundle, 4 people. Now these rooms are a little larger than average, a small 2,000 or 1,200 square feet home. So because of that, you can put more beds and more furniture in it than a small house.
Now, you said you got this at Wayfair. Did you pick the stuff out? Did you have a lady pick it out, or?
I picked it up myself at the beginning, and then of course, now that they know what I purchased, they go pick up the exact same thing over and over.
So you can get in touch with your feminine side?
Exactly. Now these are, when I did my research, there was a new account manager that was helping me with a new customer kind of account manager. So she taught me how to use their system. But then these are like real leather beds.
I like
For
that.
Mm-hmm.
the whole bed, like $250, $300.
Not bad.
So,
Brand new?
brand new.
Everything's brand new.
Yeah.
The only stuff that may be used, he said, was some of the stuff maybe on the walls
all
and
the
stuff.
artwork and the knickknacks, like the lights. And to be honest with you, at this house, because it was my first house, and my wife bought a whole lot of crap that we don't need anymore for the house, I just brought it all here.
Exactly.
I told her, what you don't need anymore? She's like, I'm tired of that. So I picked it all up and brought it here.
Exactly.
So save some money.
Where do you get the mattress?
Wayfair.
Wayfair, they're all brand new.
They're all brand new. They're all memory foam, 25, 30 years warranty, and they deliver it for you, free delivery, next day delivery or 2-day delivery. So what's wrong with that? Buy it for the same mattress. I actually went to is it Mattress Depot or something, mattress furniture store. The same mattresses they give me, they're like, this is our middle of the road kind of furniture and mattress. Each one cost, the queen size bed were about $800.
So these are queens?
These are queens.
You recommend queens?
Yeah. And the ones that I got from Wayfair, they were right around $200. So I saved about $600 for that. Yes.
How about the trundle beds?
The trundle beds, they're like $188 for the mattress. The bed itself was about $400.
Okay.
Or $350.
It's not too bad.
All right.
Not bad.
Do you wrap them a mattress covering for bed bugs?
I do.
Complete.
Every bed has a waterproof cover to cover for bed bugs and the waterproof itself, because you don't want them their sweat or all kinds of stuff to go through. Because you want to protect your mattress. That cover can be replaced. That's only a $20 piece. You don't want to replace the whole mattress.
Exactly.
All right, let's get out of here.
Keep moving.
Keep moving, please.
And he includes it in the fee.
Rock, so can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So obviously it's pretty clever your marketing. You put $1,000 for 2 people, right? So obviously it's
No,
holds.
I put
or
about
how-
$700 for 2 people, and
Ah,
then it
okay.
averages out to about $1,000 by the time we
Right,
are,
with the
yeah.
350
Yeah.
cleaning fee and everything. So then let's say you have 7 people staying here.
Yeah.
So obviously it's not going to be 700. It would
Yeah.
be
So what we charge is $50 per person per night.
That's your
so if
upsell.
they're staying, there's
Pretty
another
reasonable.
5 people staying there. That's $250 per night. They're staying for 3 nights. That's $750 additional on top of what you're asking.
right. So that's the only way you could upsell your Airbnb is by you're hoping that they have multiple people, not
Yeah.
just 2. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for a house this size,
Sure, yeah, of
it's
course,
unlikely to have just 2.
Right.
We have had small guests of 2 people staying here twice.
Okay.
And those were my lowest income days
Right.
since I
Yeah,
have
but
had
they're
these
paying the
properties.
350, it is what
But
it
they're
is.
paying they're paying about $300 per night, 300 cleaning fee, and for 2 people they're using only 1 bathroom. We don't even have that cleaning fee. Like a couple of times I cleaned it myself. All I did is replace a couple of things and it was done. So I made $700 out of it. All right, so guys, now we are going to look at my favorite place in the whole house. Come on, let's go. Huh? The kitchen? A woman has to be talking like that. No, the bathroom. The master bathroom. Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Did you have to have a hotel license?
No, not for this. You don't have to have hotel license. All right. So here's one of my favorite places in the house. Let's start with the master bedroom first.
The beds are nice.
They're sitting on them, so they make it look nasty. So this is how it should look: nice and clean and white and all cleaned up. So in every bed that I put at least 1 or 2 nightstands and a couple of lights, but they're really not needed for this house, but it's for the look mainly. Like I said, all the artwork that you see are bought from used places or estate sales. So I don't buy crap, I just buy them cheap. Quality, exactly. So again, the same thing, put that day bed and a trundle here, makes it 2 rooms and have 4 people sleep here rather than only 2 people at a space this big.
Nice porch swing out there.
No, yep. They actually installed this fireplace. They had an old, ugly fireplace. We turned it into a nicer, cleaner, bigger one.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is there a chimney or no chimney?
Yeah, it goes all the way up.
Real quick.
Yeah.
How much would you have estimated the renovation cost to be?
When they did it, they were telling me their budget was like around 25. By the time they got done, it was around 45, 50. Yeah, so it's still their house. If I don't buy it, it's still
That's
their
right.
house. So they were totally okay with that because they were investing in their own home, really. But they also, I give them a few good options where it makes it nice and sexy for them to say yes to it, right? You got to look at it from their point of view too. When you're doing business, if all you're thinking about yourself and your own pocket, it's not going to go very far.
right.
So you got to think about, from their point of view as well.
So you guys notice it's got a nice little private porch out there with a porch swing.
Porch swing, yep.
Nice view.
All right.
I'm just going to peek out the window real quick, Rock.
We have all the lights on.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're fine. More lights. All right, here's...
Did it come like this, or did you
Yeah.
renovate?
No, this was like this. Here's one of my favorite spots in the house. Nice bathroom. Nice shower with a 18 by 18 shower head called the dump. You just stand under that. It feels like you're standing in a fall or under a fall.
This This goes with.
That's for you. That's for you.
Dustin, just so you can put it out there, this Airbnb comes with your rubber ducky.
Oh, your rubber ducky. That's actually one of the guests that left that behind, so it wasn't me buying it. All right.
I have a question, Ryan.
Yeah, go ahead.
You said the owner of this house, they had it on the market for sale, correct? And they couldn't get it sold. So
No.
No, 5 days on the market.
5 days on the market before I talked to them and that. So my agent did not follow my instructions, but she found the right person, so I'm not complaining.
No, not at all.
Yeah, so she actually talked to them, and I came and did my presentation. I talked to the agent, then to the owner, and we had it done.
Well, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Based on the fact that she's targeting these, a lot of these houses with longer days on market, have you talked to some of the other sellers? What feedback are they giving you? Or you got some in the pipeline?
Look, just like any part of real estate, right? You're going to hear a lot of no's, and I don't care about those. No to me stands for next opportunity. So just going after the next one. I hear no's, I'm one no closer to a yes. So yeah, I have got a lot of no's, and finally the one that is interested is the one I'm going to do business with.
So Rob, question, you say you have a lot of systems in place. Are you building a team off of that?
For this business?
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm in coaching and mentoring business as well.
Right,
and
but
I see where this
you
business
just started
is
the
going.
Airbnb aspect. Right. That's what I'm asking if you're...
Well, I was going to say is this is something I'm looking at. I'm really diving deep into details and how to do it right, how to do it profitable. So once I have that business set up, once I know it can be done, once I know I can do every part of it personally and I can coach people, I might consider it. Right?
Yep.
Right now I'm not.
We're counting on it.
Yeah.
So what else we got? We haven't seen the kitchen
Come on,
yet.
let's go.
Does this place have a basement?
Yes, a huge basement.
Okay.
What's up, how are you?
So,
Oh, you haven't been? Oh.
come on, let's go look at the basement first. Here's my second favorite part of the house.
Oh, wow.
So you, guests can purchase wine?
Yeah.
There's price tags on there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow, this is nice. Oh,
So here's my second favorite part of the house, the wine cellar. I don't even have that at my own house, but it's still my house, damn it. So this wine cellar can hold up to 1,000 bottles, and that's a large one. I actually, when I got the property, I got a lot of wine here, but I'm leaving at least a bottle per guest per stay. So the other thing we have is we have basically an honor system. If there is more wine here, different prices, different qualities, and if they want more wine, just look at the price tag. They want to pay for it, they get it, and they leave the money upstairs for me. A few of them have done it, but I also run into one company right behind you are my most expensive wine, and guess what? When they left, none of that was there. So they took everything, all my good wines out of the house. So you're going to run into good and the bad ones in this business. And depending on, and guess what? The one that actually took all my wine was a local girl. So I got to pay attention more to the local people. And,
Yes.
And because it...
That's what I've been told.
She gave me a 5-star. Yeah, she gave me a 5-star. She better give me a 5-star after drinking all my damn expensive wine.
So you don't lock the wine, sell everything.
That's why we have it as an honor system. So if you want it, drink it, just pay for it. So, so we may not have to go in there, but this is just a full gym quality equipment in this room. Every single thing that you need is right here. I haven't even had the pictures.
So did this come with the house?
Yes.
Okay. So he did leave some things.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are some nice gear.
You want to give me the money, so I'll take all of that. Can have that. Do you have yours? I'll buy yours. I'll exchange yours. All right, let's go.
Okay.
You already have my information.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
All righty.
I like all the mirrors.
No, I don't, but I'll get you some more. I have some more in my car.
Sorry, excuse me, I'm looking for the owner of a Malibu, gray Malibu parked on the hill.
Okay, Dustin, as you see, the same thing here again.
Oh, wow.
That's our maid's closet, all our stuff. That's the storage room.
So that's where they lock stuff up.
I can lock you in there if you want to. I can lock you in there, but you can't get back out.
Oh, that's yours.
Yeah, that's the storage where all the extra stuff are at.
So all the beds you mentioned is queen, no king size.
No
All
king,
those
and odd
twin.
trundle.
So this is one. Or
Two twins.
Right. I mean.
Nice big party size bathroom. High ceilings
right.
down here, real high ceilings.
That's right.
So you have to assemble this?
Yeah. That's the only thing, that's the only drawback buying it from Wayfair. They come in boxes, flat boxes, so you got to put them together. But for the amount of time and money and all of that you save, I don't mind doing that. The other thing, because you're putting them together, really you're saving a lot of money on your shipping and all of that too, because they do free shipping.
Yeah.
And your time picking it up, delivering it, so I take, just deliver it, I'll put it together over me, go pick it up, and if you're carrying something big like that, it's going to take a lot of your time delivering it. So in boxes, I actually opened up every box right here, put it together, throw away the box, and I'm done. Same thing in every room.
Equity sweat.
Yeah?
Equity sweat.
Yeah, exactly.
This quality is better than IKEA? IKEA is...
I mean, they have different material, they have different qualities, so they have, I guess the quality could be similar. Huh?
This quality looks really...
Well, I actually went and picked. I was very picky and choosing the right thing. For some of those, I paid a little more than I could have found cheaper ones, but I didn't go cheap on these houses because when you go cheap on these kind of houses, people are going to see it right away. So I paid a little more for some of them. Like those beds, these are real leather beds. They're around $400, $450 for those.
Not bad.
You looked online or they have a warehouse you go?
Online. No, I
Wayfair.
Wayfair online.
So
They're not bad for those beds. Those are actually $1,000 beds.
Exactly. It's not bad
and
at all.
I bought them for $450 because they had them on sale.
So my question to Rock is, let's say somebody does book this house for 10 people, but
Yeah.
then since you're not coming here to validate that, you have 20 people all of a sudden.
Right.
How do you encounter the guest and tell them, hey, listen, based on my cameras or whatever formula you and your team do, how can you confront them and say, well, listen, we have this, you only sign up for this? Like,
Right.
how do you...
So couple of times when we had that experience, they denied and we
Correct,
didn't
right.
go very far. I wasn't going to really go fight them and waste a lot of time collecting another $200.
Right.
But $200 is a lot of money, but it's not really worth fighting to get 200 when you can really get the house booked and get 1,000. But one time, a guest that they came from New York for his birthday. 6 of them came to town. All 6 of them adults went to a club and they came back with 6 ladies. So now they had 12 people at the house. And I had it on camera and I told them, I said, look, we
got that on camera?
Just
No,
while
just
coming
coming
in.
in.
Yes. We didn't record all of that, okay? So, but he said he's gonna pay some money, so I asked for $500.
Okay,
Yeah,
right,
so-
it makes, right, it's only fair.
But he said we just went, like, he was honest about it. Like, look, we were here to have fun. We went to the club and
they did.
We
They
came
understand.
back. We do what men do. I'm like, what do they men do? All right, now.
So, because what happens like
That's what he
when
said.
they're about to book, you pre-screen them.
Yeah.
And whoever is on the other side letting them know, hey, listen, if you bring additional people, they already know that
Yeah.
if they're going to get caught with additional
Right.
guests, they're going to pay the premium.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Well,
okay.
it's really not a whole lot of money. $50 per person per night for a house like this, especially if they are splitting it amongst each other.
Right.
Even if they go out and have someone coming back to the house with, it's still paying $50. That's
Sure.
much
Right,
less
but
than a hotel
how,
room.
You know how individuals get
Yeah.
at times, they're-
Like, we have had experiences on both sides, and some of them will totally deny that. No, we had nobody. Like, all right then.
Right.
Well, let's go back upstairs.
Kitchen?
See the kitchen?
Yeah.
Answer your question on the way up.
Okay.
What you got?
Go ahead.
Ask it real quick.
So I wanted to know if you could go over the numbers again.
Let's do it in the kitchen.
Okay.
Everybody probably wants to hear that one.
Yeah, okay.
I have 50 people at my house. I'm authorized to do.
Which one? Front? Okay. Okay.
Can I pass you two?
How
John?
did it fell off?
Oops, sorry.
Ah. All right. So all of you coming over here, someone broke my front door handle. Who's paying for that?
Who's got the iron grip?
Exactly. Oh, okay. Okay. Alrighty. See you guys. Okay, we're going to the kitchen, sorry.
Going to the kitchen.
Yeah.
We'll be right back. Big dining room. I do want to take a peek at the backyard.
Yeah? Yeah. I get a lot of compliments on this kitchen. And so here's something we do. We leave little knickknacks for people to kind of, I always leave a bottle of wine. I always had 2 red glasses here, but they keep, or wine glasses, they keep breaking, so see how long these will last. I have a coffee machine, coffee maker, and coffee and creamer, you know, toilet papers, you know, papers, things like that.
Sub-Zero. Yep,
yeah.
Nice.
I got nice stuff
Eden
here.
kitchen.
Sub-Zero, refrigerator, Vikings.
Wow.
Stove. So I have 2 big screen TVs here, one in the master bedroom, and then I have another TV downstairs. So I don't want to have too many TVs in every bedroom because a lot of people do have just a TV every bedroom. I'm not sure if that's necessary.
You got internet?
I got full Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi for everybody, and I actually have the AT&T 3G, the state-of-the-art thing.
A lot of my Airbnb friends don't have a lot of TVs either because everybody's got mobile devices now and there's free Wi-Fi in the house. They all watch Hulu or whatever on their phones or the
TVs,
tablets.
they have, we have Wi-Fi, we have Hulu, we have Netflix. I'm paying for that, so I'm advertising that. That's part of the things that books that gets people's attention. I have like 65 or 55-inch TVs, flat screen TVs, free Wi-Fi, Hulu and Netflix free. Those things get their attention.
Well, before we go back in there and sit down and answer some more questions, can you show us the exterior, the property?
Let's go.
I'd like to walk out on the deck and just kind of pan around.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, there are a lot of leaves and we haven't cleaned them up for you guys,
okay.
but it's that time of the year, right? And this was the gazebo that we put together that broke my rib. Yeah.
So it's got a some screened in hangout.
Yep.
I want to kind of pan around and see how big the yard was, see if there's a pool back here.
There's no pool.
Well,
So
I saw the rubber ducky up there, so I thought maybe there's a pool.
Oh, that was our guest that left it behind. I'm not sure.
Real nice view.
Yeah. And that's a stream, so we're not going to have any neighbors or anything.
Exactly. The nearest neighbor's over here, which looks like a nice neighbor too.
Right. Yeah.
Nice and private and quiet.
Yep. I'm thinking about putting another table and a couple of chairs right in the middle in the back to be kind of,
Yeah, like a fire
pit
here.
right there. Yeah. I want to, for Airbnbs, I want to stay away from fire because that could cause a lot of different things. I don't want to lose my whole damn house because of that one fun that they could have that one night. Yeah, but propane. Yeah. Yeah. So.
Well, you know how they have those little faux fireplaces? Maybe they have a little faux
Yeah.
outdoor heater like
Yeah.
that.
But remember, if you really are spending all your money on all the big items, those things are going to cost money. At the beginning, I want to save some money and make some money, and then of course spend some of it back on the properties as I go, move forward.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a beautiful day. We could
Sure
stay
is.
right here and finish the meeting.
I know.
Are we going back in?
Let's go back inside and take some final questions before we wrap up. All right, everybody, come on, gather back around. While they're gathering, Rock, I'm going to take an exterior shot real quick.
Go for it.
And don't forget your mic's hot, but that's okay.
Add-on service? What is
I was
that?
just going to pan around out here and show you the front of the property. Hey, we're getting ready to reconvene back inside for some final questions if you guys want to join us.
Helping me put a book together, a house manual, and some references, referrals, restaurants, all of that.
So we do
And
have
one
a
of
full
I had 2 parties here.
today.
Well, you were here. You didn't come for after the class? Okay. Okay. Well, we had a couple of meetings here, and we had we had we had a chef actually had that area. He put the food and then downstairs we had tables and chairs and downstairs. Yeah. Well, the bathroom is my favorite part of the house, and then the wine cellar downstairs. So that's two, and those are the two parts.
They're watching videos from last night from our Christmas party,
Yeah.
me making a fool out of myself, doing karaoke.
Yep. I had an agent look for me for houses like this, not necessarily right here.
Right.
Again, she found me a couple of other houses that I looked at. The sellers were not as either motivated or they didn't think it was the right thing for them. And then this owner we talked to, and
this was an off-market property?
no, it was on market. They just stayed on market for 5 days before we put a contract on it. Yeah. Like I said earlier, I don't know if you were downstairs or not, if you are making an offer on a real estate deal, and that goes for all kinds of real estate deals, think about it from their point of view too. If you make it all about you and your pocket, you're not going to get anything. If you think about, it's a win-win situation for everybody and put it together properly, present it properly, present it where you sound credible. This was my first house when I was talking to the guy. Honestly, he didn't even pull my credit. He didn't ask for any, supporting documents and all of that just because of what I told him and who I am. I didn't know anything about Airbnb. He didn't think I was brand new. After we opened it and after I talked to the guy and I told him the house is open and you want to come and see, he came and looked at it like, it looks beautiful. All your houses look like this? I'm like, this is my first one. Like, oh!
So you bought, the deal that you struck with him was what?
Lease option, we're paying the rent, make sure we're taking care of the maintenance. We are not bothering you with any of the little stuff that a tenant will call you about. We are using professional cleaners to come and that's what we do. We are, again, the guests, they are not going to be living here. They are going to be in and out, and as soon as they go, we clean up the property. If there is anything wrong with the property, we will fix it. Now, if the big items are messed up and some maintenance needed, he is responsible for that. He knows that.
Why don't you have a full warranty?
Why?
Take care of the stuff.
Why wouldn't I?
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Good.
Yeah. So with the insurance that I buy, with the additional insurance that I buy, covers all of that for us. So,
You have
yes.
option to buy the property?
Yes. Yes.
Do you know-
I have
do you mind
24-month lease on it, and then with an extension, with a right to extend it for another 24 months, and then I have the option to purchase it at the end of 24 or 48 months, or within that time period.
Do you also have liability insurance in case someone gets hurt on the property?
That one insurance I have for Airbnb covers all of that. On top of that, all the channels are offering that insurance already anyway.
Yeah.
Like the Airbnb offers $1 million worth of insurance for some.
What's the difference between the two?
Sorry?
What is the difference between the two? Because I know Airbnb offers $1 million worth of insurance.
Right. The one that you're buying is just additional insurance. Anything that Airbnb don't do, or if you don't want to claim it through Airbnb, you claim it through them directly. Much easier to deal with. For bigger losses, especially, it's easier. And that's something I do offer to the homeowners. We buy additional insurance in case something happens. So, like I said, when I created that list, it has like 10 items. 10 benefits of why he should be dealing with me rather than dealing with just a rental tenant, and that got his attention.
Right, I know you have a business. I've gone to another Airbnb meeting before, and the person who was running the meeting says she gets into luxury properties in Midtown and into homes as a corporate client.
Yeah.
Do you think sellers would be more prone to do a deal with you as to do an Airbnb if you're a corporate client as opposed to an individual going to, I want to lease your house and then I'm going to turn around and Airbnb it? What would you say to that?
I don't have that experience, so I really don't know. I can't speak to that credibly. So what I do know is everyone that comes here has stayed here for business purposes has been corporate clients. So, they are part of a corporation and come here for a few days for their company meetings and stay here. So I don't know what the difference would be between those people or the ones you're talking about, but
maybe I stated it wrong. As an individual, like structured the deal with the owner of this house,
Yeah.
you went to him as a corporation or as an entity, as opposed to somebody who's doing real estate and just come in their own name and say, I want to rent your property, lease it out, and then turn around and Airbnb it. Because what this other individual was saying is she gets into these properties easier because she states she's a corporate client. She already has properties.
That's her experience and how she presents it. Maybe that's easier for her because of her experience and how she puts it together. But I don't think if that's a big difference or between what she does or what I do or how I present my offer.
Yeah, how did you said you went through how did your real estate agent, you said it was on MLS for about 5 days?
Right.
How did they get paid on a lease?
Great question.
Like a regular house?
As an agent, they get half of the first month lease or payment. So out of deposit, they keep at an escrow account. The first month lease gets divided by the two agents usually. If there's one agent, gets the whole thing.
Yep.
The maximum at this Airbnb, what's the maximum?
Number of people?
Yeah.
26.
26
26 can sleep.
here.
Yeah. Because what I have are all those beds with the trundles, the queen beds. We count 2 people on every queen bed. We also have 2 air beds downstairs if it's needed. So if it's needed, we pump those up and they are pretty nice and they're kind of this tall with that high of a air bed itself.
All right, so let's ask our final questions and wrap it up.
Well, I still wanted him to go through the numbers, if he could.
Okay, can you, I might not have been here when we were here earlier and went over through the numbers.
What numbers would you like me to share?
Like, if you would, like what you're paying for rent.
My expenses are a month $9,000. Rent, utilities, and everything included, about $9,000.
And then you said that you anticipate that on average, and I know it's just been September, that you were, your monthly rentals were about 15, is that what you said?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then of course you'll get a bonus for the Super Bowl because everything is kind of...
Let's not count on things you haven't received yet.
Right.
Look at the things you already have.
Well, it's expected.
It's expected. I'm looking forward to it, but if I haven't received it yet, I wouldn't count on it yet. I said no to a $20,000 5-day stay. So if I don't get that, I'll just kick myself in the butt for at least a couple of weeks. Kick and scream and cry. But again, you know what? In business, you make some decisions that are going to pay off and some you're going to pay for.
He wants 25. He turned down 20.
Minimum. Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm asking from someone who's got millions, so why not? He wants to be cheap about it. I'm going to be cheap too.
And you're not, your monthly expenses include that insurance, your rent,
everything
your
included,
your
9,000
cleaning,
about 9.
Yeah, because the rent that he pays was $6,500, so the rest of that's expenses.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Excuse me, how do you ensure that the place stays trim and in great condition?
My cleaning people. My cleaning people. On daily basis, when they come and clean, not daily, after every stay, they go through a checklist, make sure everything is back where it is. So what we did after the house was 100% furnished and staged and ready to go, they came and took pictures. They laminated those pictures. So they go every room and take a look at what it was, and they put it back exactly where it was.
You guys catch that? That's good.
If they see any damages to the furniture, to anything, something's missing, if they see the lamination and all those are not there, they let me know right away. They take a picture of it, send the picture to me, and those are my proof that I can send to the Airbnb or whoever channel that sent it to me. So that's my proof.
How often do you do a walkthrough? I'm sorry.
How often do I walk through? Whenever I'm here. Whenever I'm here, the first thing I do, I just walk around the entire house to make sure it's in one piece and exactly like I left it.
Working with your real estate agent, are you mostly looking for things that are listed to be rented or listed for sale, or does it matter?
It doesn't matter. I mean, I had one house that was rental, and I talked to the owner and I told him exactly what I'm going to do. Like, nope, that's not what I want you to do. But you want $7,000 rent. It was a house a little bigger than this, and he wanted $7,000. It's only like 4 miles from here. It's still in Bucket. He wanted $7,000, but he wasn't comfortable with Airbnb or short-term rental. He wanted just one tenant to stay there. We looked at another property. He was $7,500, brand new house. They didn't want us. They wanted one tenant to stay there, a minimum of 4-year lease. I was like, all right, well, I'll do 4-year lease. I would love to, but I'm going to do Airbnb. Like, nope, we want only one family to stay there. With all the benefits that I offered, they still didn't see it. You can't force them. You got to.
So you just follow up with them month after month and see if they actually get it rented. If they don't, they may reconsider.
Yeah. Well, both of those 2 properties that I looked at were rented already. All rented now. But again, you know, like I said, I don't care about no. No means the next opportunity. I keep looking till I find the one that I can deal with.
All right.
So Rock, so you're pitching to a certain crowd for this type of house, right?
When it comes to renting it or purchasing it or buying it?
Airbnb.
Renting it. Airbnb, short-term rentals.
Right.
Okay, yep.
So it's like a, how do you say, not a concierge thing, but would you consider adding like a vehicle for transportation? Because most of these individuals come from out of
They
town,
do.
right?
Almost all of them
So
do.
is there, this is new to me, Airbnb, I don't know if they provide certain properties at this magnitude, provide like a vehicle for the guests to, I mean, I would see like an upsell more.
A vehicle comes with more responsibilities
Of course,
that you
yeah.
got to deal with, and the liabilities I don't want to deal with. But what we do offer, and that's what my assistant at Clarissa is working on right now for us, is a house manual. In those house manual referrals and services that other people provide, and my team, like I have limo service, I have chefs, I have concierge service. So the entire thing is in that book, and their numbers are there. They want it, just give them a call, and we tell them, and we send that, we email it. Well, I have a very short copy of it right now that we email to whomever booked, but we are planning on working that a little better. On top of it, I went to a couple of nice high-end restaurants over here and talked to the owners, told them that what I'm doing, what I want to do. I want to get a few free dinners out of it too. So.
Absolutely. All right.
So that's what we do.
Did you guys enjoy this?
Yeah.
Let's give it up for Rock one more time.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Rock. We really appreciate it.
Like I said, I am new. I'm still learning. So if I give you the wrong information, I apologize. But I shared everything I have gone through since I have got this business started and this house started. So I'm on my property 3. The property 1 and 2 were a little hectic when it came to furnishing it and all of that. Property 3 so far is just moving like clockwise. So when I do 5 of these size, I might think about doing a coaching and do something, because I want to have at least 5 before I do anything.
Absolutely.
$5 million properties, like, not bad, right?
Well, thanks again, everybody, for coming out to the Onsite Renovation Group. Our next one is in January on the 3rd Tuesday. We're not meeting on the 1st Tuesday because it's New Year's Day. So thank you guys for all coming out. We'll see you at another meeting again real soon. Good day. God bless.